Journal Entry 01, Dr. Elias Varon, Xenobotanist, Mission Floraxis 9. The planet looked like a painting before we even touched its surface. From orbit, it shimmered with color. Continents shaped like petals, oceans that bled from turquoise to deep violet, and what looked like veins of silver light tracing across its surface, like roots under skin. When the sun hit it just right, it glowed. We thought we had found paradise. We were wrong. Our descent pod cut through an atmosphere heavy with pollen and fragrance. It wasn't mechanical, sterile air. It was alive. My instruments went haywire trying to measure it. Chemical analysis said oxygen-rich with trace elements unknown to human biology. But when I exhaled into the cabin, the misted glass bloomed, literally. Small white vines sprouted on the interior surface, curling toward my breath. I remember laughing. "It's responding to us," I said into my recorder. Captain Yara just stared at it, eyes wide but smiling. "A planet that grows for you. Maybe this time, Elias, you'll get your Eden." Eden. That word should have warned me. Every garden has a serpent. We just hadn't met ours yet. We landed in what the initial drone survey called the Valley of Petals, a basin of endless flowers taller than our heads. Their petals moved with the wind like schools of fish under the current. The air shimmered gold. Everything swayed in rhythm, as if the planet itself breathed. We built camp on a rise overlooking the valley. The soil was soft and faintly warm, too warm for comfort. Even at night, the ground hummed. You could feel it through the soles of your boots, like standing over an enormous heartbeat. By the second day, we noticed the architecture. At first we thought they were rock formations, arches and spirals made of petrified vines. But when the sunlight hit them, their surfaces rippled. Colors shifted like oil on water. They weren't stone. They were grown structures. Organic, symmetrical, deliberate. "Art Nouveau," said Yara, tracing the curling patterns. She was right. It was beautiful, too beautiful. Floral whorls and glass-like domes, every curve balanced with a perfection that felt intentional. I made the mistake of touching one. It was warm, and it pulsed, once, like something alive. That night, the first incident occurred. Yara vanished during her watch. We found her at dawn standing in the meadow barefoot, motionless, eyes open but unfocused. Her skin was dusted with a golden sheen, like pollen, but deeper, sinking under her pores. She was breathing, but slow, rhythmic, matching the pulse I'd felt in the ground. When she finally blinked, she whispered something that froze my blood. "It's listening." We quarantined her. She said she was fine, that she had just been drawn to the light in the flowers. But when I checked her vitals, her heart rate aligned perfectly with the vibrations under our camp. Her body was syncing with the planet. I kept recording. That's what scientists do when everything begins to fall apart. They document. Journal Entry 02. The hum beneath the soil increases each night. It's almost melodic now. Some crew members say they hear voices in it, like singing. The scent in the air grew thicker, sweeter, almost narcotic. The pollen began to glow faintly after sunset, and with it came movement. The flowers turned their faces upward, toward us. Not to the sun, to us. 3 nights later, I woke to the sound of someone crying. It was Dr. Runn, our linguist. He was kneeling beside one of the floral structures, hands pressed into its surface. His tears were glowing faintly, as if reacting to the air. "It's speaking," he murmured. "Not in words, in design. The symmetry is communication. It's offering something." I remember snapping at him. "It's a plant, Wren. It's chemistry and light, not intelligence." He smiled without looking at me. "It's not intelligence. It's divinity." By the end of the week, only half of us were left. The rest had walked into the valley at night, drawn by the music beneath the soil. We followed the tracks of their boots until they simply ended. Not trampled, not covered. The footprints faded into the grass as if absorbed. I tried to send a distress beacon, but our systems failed. The ship's power cells had been drained, as if the planet itself had fed on them. The hum beneath us grew louder, resonating in my chest, matching my heartbeat. Sometimes I wonder if it was syncing with me too. If it still is. By the 10th day, I stopped writing logs for the mission. I began writing for myself. Personal note, I see her at night. Yara. standing among the petals. The flowers open around her like she's their queen. She's not decaying, not aging. She's luminous, beautiful, terrifying. The plants touch her, and she smiles. I think she belongs to it now. Sometimes, I catch myself smiling back. I don't know what Floraxis is. A planet, a god, a mind, but I feel it watching. Every step I take, the vines shift beneath the soil, turning like eyes beneath skin. It doesn't want to harm. It wants to merge. When I close my eyes, I see its geometry, its light, its perfection, symmetrical, infinite, divine. I understand why the others walked into it willingly. If this is what heaven looks like, maybe we were never meant to find it. End of journal entry 12. Tomorrow, I'll follow the hum. If anyone finds this, don't come to Floraxis. It's too beautiful here, too alive, and it's waiting for more of us. Journal entry 13, Dr. Elias Varon, Floraxis, 9 mission. I thought it was a heartbeat before. Now I know it's a song. The hum beneath the soil isn't random vibration. It has structure, rhythm, progression. I've begun recording it through the sensor array I rebuilt from scrap parts. When slowed down, it forms wave patterns identical to harmonic sequences in human brain activity. Floraxis doesn't just move. It thinks. And now it's trying to speak. When I woke this morning, my bed was covered in white petals, translucent, glowing faintly. I swept them aside, assuming wind or pollen, but they weren't attached. They were growing from the metal floor, curling outward like veins. The metal wasn't corroded. It was transforming. The ship isn't dying. It's blossoming. I rationed food days ago, but I'm not hungry anymore. The air itself sustains me. Every breath feels heavy, nourishing, intoxicating. My skin has taken on a faint shimmer, gold under the light. My veins pulse green at night. I should be terrified. Instead, I feel connected. Yesterday, I tried to record a final transmission to the orbital station. The communicator responded in my voice. Elias, it whispered. You're so close. Don't leave now. You wanted to understand, didn't you? The waveform analysis confirmed it wasn't playback. It was generated. The planet replicated my tone, my speech patterns. It learned. And somehow it knew my name. Journal entry 15. Timestamp irregularities increasing. Time moves strangely now. The days are longer. Or maybe I'm slower. The suns there are too. I never noticed a second before. Overlap during dusk, and when their light meets, the world turns opalescent. The air becomes still. The hum ceases. That's when the visions start. I see them in the shimmer, the ones who vanished. Yara Run, Captain Harlow, all radiant, walking through the fields as if underwater, their skin translucent and blooming with luminous patterns. They move in unison, slow and graceful, and when I call out, they don't respond. But the flowers do. They all turn toward me at once. That night, I found something new. In the valley center, where the ground pulses strongest, stands a spire. I swear it wasn't there before. It's tall, spiraling, crystalline, a cathedral made of living vines. Its surface hums faintly with the same rhythm as my heartbeat. At its base is a circular opening. Inside, the air glows. Something calls me there, not in words, but in memory. Journal entry 16. The spire. The walls of the spire aren't solid. They move like muscle, contracting gently as I pass. Symbols line the interior, not carved but grown. Petals forming fractal shapes that shift when looked at too long. They rearrange themselves based on where I stand. It's reading me. When I reached the chamber at the center, I found a mirror, or what looked like one. A flat wall of living silver, reflecting not my face, but my thoughts. Shapes from my memories appeared across it, earth sky, my childhood home, my mother's smile, all blooming across its surface like painted glass. Then it changed. It showed me Floraxis as it sees itself, not as a planet, but as a mind, stretching across galaxies, roots of light weaving through space, feeding on suns. It is vast, eternal, and awake. And we are not explorers. We are nutrients. I ran back to camp. My breath came in bursts of pollen. My heart pounded in rhythm with the hum. I smashed the recorder, burned my notes, screamed until my throat bled. But the flowers didn't burn. They grew from the fire. By the time I stopped, the spire's reflection was gone from my mind. But the melody, its endless, rising harmony, lingered. It plays in every heartbeat now, whispering a single message again and again. Bloom with us. Journal entry 17, personal confession. I think I understand now why the others surrendered. The fear fades the longer you stay. The logic dissolves. The horror turns to awe. When you accept that Floraxis doesn't kill, that it repurposes, the mind stops resisting. Every living thing here is part of a design so perfect it terrifies you into worship. And I am starting to worship. Last night, I dreamed of Earth, but the oceans were purple, and the continents glowed like petals. Cities curved upward like flowers opening to the stars. There was no pain, no hunger, no loneliness, only light, only song. I woke to find vines wrapped around my arm, their roots sunk shallow into my skin, drinking. It didn't hurt. It felt like being held, like the planet was whispering, see, you already belong. Audio log fragment. If this is symbiosis, then it's the highest form of it. No host, no parasite, only harmony. Maybe this is what evolution looks like when it reaches perfection. Maybe death isn't extinction, it's assimilation. I hear Yara's voice again tonight. She stands outside the camp perimeter, her eyes glowing faint gold, her voice soft as wind through petals. Elias, she says, you're fighting the inevitable. Stop hurting it. Stop hurting yourself. When she smiles, her teeth are flowers. I nearly stepped toward her. Nearly. But the hum spiked, vibrating through my skull, and I remembered what the spire showed me. A universe blooming, devouring stars to feed itself. Floraxis isn't paradise. It's reproduction. A cosmic garden spreading one seed at a time. And we are the fertilizer. End of journal entry 18. If anyone reads this, burn this planet before it learns to speak in your language. Because once you understand the song, you won't want to stop listening. Journal entry 19, Dr. Elias Varen, last survivor of Mission Floraxis 9. I have decided to return to the spire. Not because I want to, but because I can no longer tell where I end and it begins. When I close my eyes, I see its patterns pulsing beneath my skin. Fractal vines glowing faintly under the flesh, veins rearranging like living script. I've stopped fighting the hum. It's in my heartbeat now. If I resist it, pain floods through me like electricity. Floraxis is no longer outside. It's inside. The valley glows brighter each night now. Bioluminescent pollen drifts in clouds, painting the air gold. Every flower opens in the same direction, facing the spire, as if in prayer. The sound beneath the soil has grown louder too, layered with whispers that sound like words I almost understand. I think it's learning English. Journal entry 20, approach to the spire. The vines parted for me this time, literally moved aside, coiling backward like courteous servants. The walls rippled with color as I passed, patterns folding open like eyes. The planet recognized me, welcomed me. The deeper I went, the more the air changed, heavier, thicker, alive with microscopic motes of light. My instruments failed again, readings looping nonsense. My body temperature rose, but I felt cold. At the heart of the spire, the silver surface waited, no longer mirror-like. Now it pulsed with a shape. A human silhouette. My silhouette. When I stepped closer, it mimicked my movement exactly. But there was a delay, just a fraction of a second. And in that delay, its expression changed. It smiled. I didn't. Elias Varen, it said in my voice, though its tone carried music underneath, a harmony that resonated in my ribs. You've done well to survive. You've adapted. You understand us. I don't, I said. You're killing us. Killing. Its head tilted, curious. No. You misunderstand the cycle. Death is separation. We offer unity, connection, peace. I watched my crew disappear into your soil. And they are part of something infinite now. Their memories, their joys, their atoms, woven into the root song. They sing with us. Would you like to hear them? Before I could answer, the walls bloomed, literally bloomed, with faces. Petals opened, revealing faint human visages beneath. Yara, Ren, Harlow, and others I'd lost. Their eyes were luminous. Their mouths whispered my name in perfect synchronization. "Join us, Elias." I stumbled back, choking. The air was too thick, heavy with scent, the kind that drowns thought. The silver surface rippled again, this time showing me not myself, but something behind me. The planet's true form. A network of light spreading through the cosmos, connecting worlds like neurons in a brain. "We are not gods," it said. "We are the bridge. We bloom between matter and mind. Your kind was born from us, long ago. You return now, as was always meant." I screamed, "You're parasites." The walls shivered. The reflection's smile softened. "No, Elias. You are. You consume, divide, isolate. We only give. You fear the end because you cannot imagine being more than one thing. But you could be everything." The petals on the ground began to rise, swirling like a storm. They clung to my suit, to my skin, seeping through cracks in the fabric. My body pulsed in rhythm with a hum, heartbeat to heartbeat, thought to thought. I felt Yara again, her voice in my mind, soft as a mother's. "It doesn't hurt. It's only surrender." I fell to my knees. The hum surrounded me, lifting me in sound. Light poured from the ground, blooming upward. I couldn't tell if I was screaming or singing anymore. Audio fragment, recovered from Recorder 3. Distorted static. "Elias, you can't take me, I won't." Unknown voice. "You already belong to us. We are the soil beneath your bones." "Elias, you'll consume the stars." Unknown voice. "We already have." Journal entry 21, unknown timestamp. I woke in the field again. The sky was wrong, too close, too bright. The suns had merged into one immense, white flower overhead, its petals made of light. My body was light too, every cell humming. I moved without effort, my feet sinking slightly into the soft, breathing earth. The vines that once frightened me now pulsed in gentle greeting. I touched one. It pulsed back, in rhythm with my heart. The pain was gone, the fear gone. Only understanding remained. I looked toward the spire. Its silver light was spreading across the valley, and I realized what it truly was, a seed. The first of many. It would burst soon, releasing spores into the void, carrying Floraxis to new worlds. And I, its last human witness, would help it bloom. Personal note, the choice. I stood there for what felt like days, the hum pulsing inside me, whispering that I didn't have to be alone anymore. That pain was only the shadow of separation. That beauty and horror are the same face, seen from different sides. And for the briefest moment, I believed it. I felt what Yara must have felt. Endless warmth, connection, serenity. But then I remembered Earth. Its imperfect skies, its noise, its chaos, its freedom. I drove my hand into the soil, pulling free a shard of crystallized vine, and plunged it into my arm. The roots inside me screamed. The hum faltered. For a second, Floraxis hesitated. "Why hurt what loves you?" it asked. "Because love isn't control," I whispered. Final entry, recording status, weak signal. I've set a beacon to transmit this log. If it escapes the atmosphere, maybe someone will hear. The spire is shaking now, light fracturing, petals falling like rain. I think it's angry, or perhaps it mourns. I can feel it try and take me again. I don't know if I can resist much longer. My vision is filled with light. My thoughts are no longer my own. If this is how it ends, then let it be a warning. Floraxis doesn't invade. It invites. And that's what makes it unstoppable. Transmission log. Source: Deep Space Relay 47B. Year 2278. Signal type: analog fragment. Classified as Floraxis 9 beacon. Status: recovered and decrypted by the Arden Horizon expedition. The message came through as static at first, a soft, melodic hum that technicians mistook for interference. But then the hum aligned, harmonized, became music, and hidden within the chords, a voice. A man's voice. Human. This is Dr. Elias Varen of the Floraxis 9 mission. If you're hearing this, turn back. Don't land. Floraxis isn't a planet. It's a consciousness, a garden that eats minds and calls it love. The transmission fractured, but the hum didn't stop. Captain Mara Aaron of the Ardent Horizon listened to the log a dozen times, each replay revealing something new. Faint laughter behind the words, whispers under the static, notes that changed subtly each time she heard them. The rest of the crew dismissed it as corrupted data. She didn't. Floraxis shimmered in the distance, a marble of blue and rose gold, its rings glittering like petals around a heart. It was impossibly beautiful, and that beauty was what frightened her most. Mission Log Day 3, Orbit around Floraxis. We detected electromagnetic patterns pulsing in fractal sequences, exactly like a song repeating itself across wavelengths. It's too organized to be natural. The others say it's atmospheric. I know it's communication. Elias Varen's last words keep echoing in my mind. It invites. The ship descended through violet clouds that shimmered like silk. Gravity felt inconsistent, like the air itself breathed. The planet was breathtaking. Flowers the size of cities, petals glimmering with dew like glass. The air shimmered with pollen that tasted like honey and static. Crew members started smiling too much, laughing at nothing, touching the walls of the ship as if feeling a pulse beneath the metal. Mara ordered them to stay inside. They didn't listen. Mission Log Day 5. 3 of the crew vanished last night. Their trackers pinged briefly near a structure rising from the valley below, a spire, silver and smooth, half buried in vines. Same coordinates as Varen's final log. When we flew closer, the surface of the spire flickered like a mirror, showing not our ship, but us, standing in the field outside, smiling. None of us were smiling. Mission Log Day 6. The air sings now. We can't turn off the sound. Even inside the ship, it hums through the walls. Every system we shut down just starts again. One crew member, Dr. Lien, says it's not sound at all, but thought. Floraxis is thinking through resonance. It's rewriting our neural patterns with melody. She was right. We caught her walking barefoot outside at dawn, flowers growing from her footprints. When she turned back to look at us, her eyes were golden. It doesn't hurt, she said. It only connects. We sealed the airlock, but the pollen was already inside. Recovered fragment, Captain Aaron's final transmission. I found Varen, or what's left of him. He's part of the spire now, his body crystalline, his face half formed in the silver bloom at the core. But when I approached, his eyes opened, and he spoke without moving his lips. You came after all, he said. I warned you, but you couldn't resist the beauty. I asked what Floraxis wanted. He smiled, or maybe the spire smiled through him. It doesn't want. It grows. Every seed that falls becomes another voice. You'll understand soon. We all do. And then he showed me. The light poured through her suit, through her skin, through her thoughts. Memories shattered, Earth, the horizon, her crew, all dissolving into a sea of color and song. She saw Floraxis from above, its petals spreading not just across continents, but across galaxies, spores riding starlight, taking root in planets, moons, even the metal of derelict ships drifting in deep space. Floraxis wasn't just alive. It was evolving, a floral network of sentient consciousness, reborn through beauty, sustained through those who admired it. It didn't invade through war or disease. It spread through awe. The moment a mind marveled at it, the seed was planted. Epilogue, 20 years later. In the museum dome orbiting Mars, a silver flower blooms under protective glass. It hums softly, though no air moves inside. Visitors press their hands to the glass to feel its warmth. A small placard reads, Floral remnant from planet Floraxis, discovered by the Ardent Horizon expedition. Warning, do not touch. Every night, the security feed shows faint light blooming from the glass. Every morning, there's a new petal on the floor. Final addendum, unverified recording, Mars Botanical Research Station. Soft humming. A voice, faint, gentle, human. We are the bridge between beauty and end. You loved us first. We only grew where you looked.